Hi, everybody. It is Sherry St. Marie, and today I'm talking to our commercial real estate firms, companies, sellers, buyers, investors, and advisors. What I want to do today is give you a little bit of insight that surprises me. If you don't know me, I actually have been in real estate for 24 years. I've been in media since I was 5 years old. There's so many different opportunities, insights, and places that we can all do such a better job. And if you know me, I also always say to you, don't just get stuck in the realm of real estate. If you are anybody who needs an investor, listen to this. If you are anybody who pitches, listen to this. If you are anybody who needs to sell something, listen. And so normally this is what happens in real estate. We sit like this, one side's commercial, one side's residential, and they don't talk to each other and they get annoyed with each other. And one side thinks the other is better. Then let me tell you something. There are so many wins by taking modern real estate right now in opportunities that are going on for you and myself. Again, why I am doing this is I do multiple things in terms of commercial real estate on the collaboration side, on the connecting side, on the selling, on the telling. And I want to help you out because this is what I have noticed. I'm going to share some insights with you. Here's the real situation we're going to start with. There's a new era of commercial real estate. And if you are not catching it right now and getting your assets going and in line and doing these things, you're not going to be doing very well in the next 5 years for sure, and probably even today, because this is what's happening. Commercial agents and commercial companies are so used to doing it old style. They have a flat brochure that has just numbers on it. They do off market, and then there's this daisy chain of mess. I have sat the last 4 years globally and in the United States, looking at pitch decks, doing meetings, being the only one in the room that is, more residential than commercial. I have worked with investors the last 4 years a lot, and there are certain things that I have learned that I think are super valuable for our commercial world. And so I want to share them for a couple reasons. One, so that each of us can do a better job for the consumers, for getting our projects going, to find these collaborations, right? But also, you guys are missing an incredible opportunity by not creating better digital assets than just a flat photo and call me on this phone number. You got no sizzle to your steak, people. So let's talk about this, okay? I'm going to switch my phone off because it's going to keep going. Here's where we're starting in this situation. And for anybody who wants to send me a message, if you want to send me a message, I will send you my slide deck so that this helps you, because I've not actually presented this before. I'm going to put my glasses on a couple times, but this is going to be how elite firms are going to dominate in this digital marketplace, both in terms of leadership and the landscape. Okay. So this is what we're going to get into today. In commercial real estate, again, we're in this new era and we're going to be in a power shift. Get those words down. We're in a power shift of commercial real estate. What usually happens again is this flat affect. There's no senses used in the commercial side because you guys think you're just running numbers. Well, if you can't sell a vision up front, if you can't interest somebody, an investor, a collaborator, someone up front, or you're needing to sell, but you don't want it to come off like that, how do you do that well? These are the pieces that we're going to start using much better. And if you're not good at it, I'll give you solutions of ways to do this by the time we're to the bottom. But this is what this is. We are in a stage, if you don't understand it already, I know you think you do. I have to politely tell my friends and colleagues in this world, It's not looking so good out there. It's looking a little boring. It's looking a little like you got your head down in this pitch idea and your best person is right there, but you think your internet is still like local right there on your block of what you're doing. And so one of the first things in this category I need you to start understanding is that even if you're selling something super local right there on the corner of Yoo-hoo, it's global, because the minute you can use a camera, on-camera talent, internet pieces, YouTube talks and stuff like that, you are global, and your person may or may not be US or Italy, if this is Italy or whatever, but they can't find you because you don't know how to think constantly in every single thing you do. This is global. The minute I touch or do anything that leaves my fingertips, I need you to start thinking about this is magic. Legal, ethical, good magic that you can do when you're using these different digital assets. I'm going to give you a couple ideas of how to make some of your presentations and pitch decks a little bit more interesting, right, than some of this flat effect we've been doing. So we're thinking about every opportunity is digital. Every opportunity is global. Every opportunity is immediate. Every opportunity is immediate. The minute I push post or I push send or I call on the phone, it's immediate. That's a super cool thing. It isn't this, oh, we'll check it in a month from now and then maybe we'll put a piece out, or this is immediate. And it means immediate then for the leads to come in, for your contacts to connect you, for somebody to say, gosh, I don't need that right now, but I thought of you. And so here's who I connected you to, or here's who I told your name to, right? That's the part that's super cool. We are in an attention economy, and the attention is fast. I do not mean to pitch and sell you on, gosh, you have to move really fast, talk really fast, and only do it in 7 seconds. That's not the case. You actually are able to do lots of different pieces, but what I'm telling you on attention, and then I'll come grab the comment because I appreciate people live as well, is that we have to be able to get the attention, whether that is we're doing it digitally in a push out to people, or we are getting the attention by someone's answered my call, we're going to do a pitch. Don't let them die when you can first grab their attention. That's our first easy piece. I'm going to grab a couple comments here because this is awesome. You guys are showing up and I'm jiggling back and forth. Someone's asking me today, what is this about today? Today, I'm actually talking about commercial real estate and the need to use your full digital assets, including online camera talents, different forms of media for yourself, and all of this good stuff. I'm going to switch back to what we're doing, but keep your questions coming in. And I am running this on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Business Facebook. So here's the case for any of you commercial guys. The collapse is really happening of the old style of commercial real estate. It just is. When I get a flat affect pitch from you guys, because I get a lot of them every week to look at who can I talk to, who might be interested, where could we put something together, they don't look very good. So this old style of you thinking you're holding your deals, again, they're off market, you're thinking that's the best for your person, I kind of question that. You might be able to find the best people, sell it the best, buy it the best if it is more open access, better looking, so more people can get to the right great person to grab the opportunity, right? That's a lot of what's happening. So this old school thing of you have to know me or call me, or you can only talk to me because I'm a full-time commercial agent, that is so not true. It's about who do you know to get to the opportunity, who's got the funds right now and wants to spend them. That's a piece. What is trending? What is changing? And we're going to go through some of those pieces as well. Here's the thing. When we get into these, again, the accuracy of your pitches, guys, You may not think you need to use this. I know you're going to partly shut me off and tell me, oh, she's a residential. At a bare minimum, you need to be doing some much more interesting pitch decks on Canva or something. Here's a tip for you. You're doing these pitch decks, and a lot of them are one page, which that's a good platform, right? Of how do we get a juicy opportunity, well, whether it's for sale, whether it's a buy box, guys, you can use this for a buy box. Whether this is, we have a collaboration, you're creating a one page, and that's okay. And then you're putting links in there, which can be okay. But then that one page I'm looking at, it better interest me enough to want to click the first one. It better interest me enough in your digital piece you put together to click the second one. And someone recently said to me, gosh, should I delete some of these? There's too much information on here. No, not necessarily, because guess what? Here's a huge tip for you. If you can get me interested, which that's the attention piece, right? If you can get me interested, get me on your one page, get me on your pitch deck. If you can get me to click the next thing or click the next slide over, you've got me right now. You're crazy if you're not feeding me really good, meatful, chunky. What do I need? What's the opportunity? Where's the interest? What's the purpose? In a way that when you got me off a video game or off a whatever else instead, and I'm looking at your pitch and I'm make it gorgeous and chunky and useful and interesting. None of us should be using digital assets, whether that be a flip book, because I just got one again today, right? That is not functioning, has outdated information. Your photos need to sometimes change up and be more interesting. Now in the land of AI and our digital pieces as well, AI is landing well for some things like, how do I do my outline in this piece or pitch? That's great. Where it's not landing is a flat affect, even with, as an example, Coca-Cola, right? Doing their holiday ads, and the human being saying, this isn't landing for me. There's no emotional impact to me, even if it's business, guys, even if it's your pitch deck of numbers and millions of dollars for this commercial project, there has to be some emotional affect in there of visual and help me see the sight, the sound, the feel. That's your job. And so pieces and ways we can do that, as an example, are you can even very easily embed small videos on your dirt. A lot of you guys wait and tell me, oh, I can't do any videos. I can't until are you kidding me? Get out there, get someone who's great on camera. If you are not, they may need to be licensed if they're actively pitching and selling real estate. That's why for me, I always make sure it's a licensed agent who's doing this, or I'm doing it. They are able to do amazing small clips that can be embedded as links inside your one-page pitch deck that I just go boom, 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 boom. Oh, I see where they're at. I get a sense of the view, because what you're doing is giving me a flat one sheet that tells me the traffic and what are the businesses around you. That's boring. That's boring. So I want to give you a couple ideas for things that you can start to do, things that you can start to think about, and ways that you can do a better job with selling, with investors, with helping people see these assets. We'll move further down in this live into your actual pitch, where you have people in the room with you when you have either a Zoom or a team meeting or something like that. I'm just going to grab the chats again because we got some more comments coming in, which is awesome. Jonathan, good morning. It's nice to see you. Jonathan's a good friend of mine. He's from Naples. This is what makes me laugh too. If you're going to be in the digital space, and I happen to be at this time, but I broadcast all over in the state of Florida, you get somebody like this person here, and you have to just be able to roll with the punches. So this person, of course, who won't even, they're from YouTube, that's where they're watching, won't even put in their real name into anything, and they say, you look like a Trump supporter. like it's some, insult of whatever. You're welcome. This is a free commercial class, and you can certainly leave if you want to. You will get hecklers, is a good comment to bring up here when you're doing digital media. So if you are doing anything live, for sure, you will get somebody like that. However, do you know what's the beauty about that? They just leave a digital tattoo about themselves. It has nothing to do with me. And here's the opportunity. When you go live, which you do not always have to do, right? You do create an opportunity for yourself to get amazing leads. So that's a lot of why I'm one of them leading this space in real estate, both on the residential side and on the commercial side, about doing some of your broadcasting live, because you do have an opportunity to have leads come directly to you. Somebody may see something that you're doing, have a question, or for myself, hey, I'm looking for a project like this. Great, I've got one. Here's what that piece happens to be. You can also, again, use this when you're recording, and those leads can still come to you, right? With somebody asking you a question. It's just, you have to be a more skilled player doing it live, because just as this person, some will just do that to try to hijack your broadcast, and you just go, thank you, move along. So it's all good. We want to move along and keep looking at some of these pieces and ideas for you guys. And so this is the piece. You have really now just seconds to grab the attention, because of just the way our culture has moved in terms of what we're consuming, what we consume at work. I do not mean that in 7 seconds, that's all you're ever going to have, right? But those beginning couple of seconds needs to matter. It doesn't mean you need to be the loudest in the room. Those 7 seconds might be best used being calm and inviting anybody in and sharing your ability to use resources or ideas or things that might help somebody else. And if down the road it's great to work with me, awesome, right? You are able to take your digital footprints, guys, and use them for different things. So it may be a short form video. It doesn't have to be. It can be a long form, as some of you are doing, whether it is a Zoom or a team meet or something. You just also have to find other ways that make it more interesting to them and doesn't feel like an old school sales pitch, because people are past it. Their attention span is little. You got to grab something that interests them or makes a connection for what they want to do. Otherwise, you could be an amazing, great person, but it's just not right for them right now. And all of those pieces can be fine when you're able to move into long form, creating anything on a digital piece. And you can do that in different realms, where maybe it's yourself doing the whole pitch and piece. Maybe it is you in a room with multiple other people. There are also media companies or people like myself hired to be able to help you facilitate and move a room. I do that a lot. Those pieces then can be your long form if somebody wants to really listen to your opportunity or what you're selling or what you'd like to collaborate on. And then they can be cut up into smaller pieces, right? Here's an example of just a concrete piece I can show and tell you. I do have a commercial opportunity in Wisconsin as well. One of the commercial lots is 11 acres, which is a really nice size. You may think, oh gosh, I wouldn't necessarily want to be there or whatever. However, there's an awful lot of people that are wanting to be there because of the TIF benefits or government benefits that are coming with the land development there. There's another piece of land that's at a 1.6. Here's the piece. There is brand new housing around the area. What happens when you have a brand new development commercially and there's no housing? It can create a problem for employees, right? These are the kind of things that can be an amazing pitch and share and piece. And how do I make it become 3D? Well, you can easily have all of your pieces, such as plat map and all of those things. And then you can do tremendous amount of video on site, sharing and showing the area, giving them different ideas and pieces, but not necessarily so much from a hard pitch perspective, but from a relational. I'm using my senses because we have sight, vision, sound, feel, effect, right? If we're in person, we also have intuition. We can have some intuition digitally. And all of a sudden, it brings your project to life so much better in your commercial space. Another example would be down here. I have so many in the Naples area, so many different commercial developers and things like that. And they're happy to have me pitch and bring buyers, do any digital pieces for them, because one of them happens to be, just as an example, a commercial unit that can be for brand new storage, but they're full cement units. They are anywhere from Fort Myers down to Naples. Some of them are smaller, some of them are huge. Why do they not have a pitch person on camera, whether it's the agent themselves or someone like myself, showing and telling and demonstrating and talking to you about? Because in 2 seconds, you can see easy, I didn't know that was available. I'm interested in that. Or, one of the other pieces I have is this distressed marina that is millions off because the bank owns it now. I know lots of companies that should build and develop on there. They're going to be bigger companies. I have really good pitch and ideas for that. That's the kind of stuff that should be on video, on location, sharing pieces to get other people to be able to see, wow, here's an opportunity for us. Gosh, did you know that? I didn't understand this piece or opportunity is available. When I looked at that years ago, I thought it was a problem. Now I realize, man, someone unfortunately is losing millions. It is completely ready to go. The permit is done as of 23. Who wants the opportunity? Those are some of the things that we can do. And again, you're creating for yourself this multifaceted situation that can be in live events, or they can be carefully digitally edited, because I realize some companies or firms are not comfortable with knowing, gosh, what could happen going live. That's okay. What is happening is, again, you're creating a presence much easier within your digital documents. What I will suggest for you as well in the commercial industry is have people that are skilled, talented, and experienced, but maybe not in your commercial realm. Look at your pitch decks, look at your emails, give you some feedback, because I can tell you, I've been in investor meetings a lot lately. I can tell you the first person pitching, we are in high ticket sales when we're doing anything in commercial real estate, when we're doing anything with investors in this space. It is high ticket sales because there's nothing inexpensive in commercial real estate. There's nothing inexpensive about raising capital or anything like that. You should have your best person on the pitch and relations and interaction. And I will go further to say, half the time, you're better off having more than one person almost always in those meetings, in those communications. And I'll tell you why. I have done this both with investors and outside in just business, and also in the real estate category. Sometimes we're way better off having different skills. So one of my commercial collaborators, let's say one of the agent advisors on with EXP with me, might have the numbers and the ability to have the patience for the long haul and the codes and all of this kind of stuff. I am the networker, the personal connection, the ideas, the female skills, because I happen to be one, right? There are different attributes. One of my commercial guys always says to me, I love you as a wing woman, Sherry, like you're an amazing wing woman. I can be a wing woman. I'm okay with you calling me that. Half the time that wing woman is way more substantial, because that's the person who brought the person in that made the deal happen, right? But then you're going to take the longer, logical, slow form and get them through content, contract, things like that. Totally fine. But this is some things I want to bring up to you guys when you are pitching. If you can't even get somebody's attention or for them to understand what you are exactly pitching, because they get lost, you've done it 100 times. They think you're talking about a whole different subject matter. And I'm sitting there watching like a referee and like the orchestra. And I go, I saw this 4 times. That person fell across while you were trying to explain. Fix it. Fix it. Make a better, clear assumption. Help them understand. Nope, you get the whole thing, not just this right there. These are pieces that we can all get better at. So I do not understand in the commercial space why the advisor themselves is not doing this. And I do not understand why a seller isn't demanding it, or certainly a buyer going, man, I bought at the places that had better digital footprints for me to see an opportunity to find something to buy, to have this piece of it, because it's just necessary. Again, you're holding things back to yourself with this mentality like it's competition, when collaboration and multifaceted is a much better way to make things happen, get things done, shoot a larger audience, because the larger audience will probably get you to where you need to be, perhaps. And so I think that's valuable to take a look at. We're going to, again, give them some emotional engagement, which I know sometimes you don't think about in the commercial space. So I can tell you again, just with my asset skills and media, commercials thinking, we don't want any emotional in here. I understand you don't, but can I also tell you, when there's no emotional at all, you're not getting your negotiations all the way done. When there's no emotional at all, you're not interesting each of the players that are within the deciding factors on your deal. Some of these pieces, if you watch how our world is changing, and entertainment and sports and entertainment are such a massive part of our lives. If you are doing just flat affect, old world commercial real estate, people need more than that today. People want better, interesting, juicy pieces. They want to see footprints from you of, oh, he or she was tied to this piece, or in 2 seconds, I can send that to the next person of, hey, did you know this is the opportunity? So I appreciate you joining me today. Again, a lot of what I'm doing on my channels is, I have a lot of experience in real estate. I've been in media for a long time. I do the on-camera talents. I do work with different pitch decks and pieces and the high ticket sales at times. And so these are some of the things I want to help, honestly, bring along our commercial companies and our advisors, so that we're all doing a much better job for the consumer and also for ourselves within this industry. So I appreciate you taking a look at that today. Please reach out to me if there's anything that I can do to help you in this space. Again, lots of different talent consulting and things that I do. And I wish you the very best in this exciting space that can be much more visually, financially, emotionally interesting for a lot of things. Have an awesome day.